Hi everyone, welcome to the another lecture video in the series Common Field Diseases. Today we will discuss about milk fever. This is the most important disease in field, and this is the most important production disease also. So we will discuss the signs and symptoms, the stages and the treatment. Okay. Now directly coming to the signs and symptoms. First, stage 1. Remember the signs of the stage 1 are usually go unnoticed by the farmer. Most of the time they won't be noticed, but you should know sometimes in well managed farms you may find these signs very early. So you can diagnose and treat accordingly. Okay. So stage 1. In the stage 1 the animal will be ambulatory. It means the animal will move. Okay. Sometimes they have some ataxia. Okay, use the third point, mildly ataxic, or they may have some hind limb lameness. Okay, they may show signs of lameness in their hind limbs. There will be hypersensitivity. In Odia, farmer will tell you gai champuji, gai champuji. So this is hypersensitivity or hyperexcitability. So there you will also find tremors in flank and triceps. That is mostly the hind limb disease. Okay. Next, animal will become restless and will bellow. This is basically the stage 1. You see, this is an image. Okay, you can see there is hind limb lameness or hind limb weakness. The animal is will be moving from one side to another side of this pasture or even in the shed. But there may be the animal there may be the hind limb lameness. Okay, so you need to diagnose early. Okay, first you see, when I will go to diagnosis part, you will first take the history. Okay, history will be of a recent parturition. Usually 72 hours of parturition. The disease is usually seen. So you need to remember this. Okay, if you are seeing this symptom in a recently parturited cow, then you may suspect for the milk fever. Okay. Next, the stage 2. Most of the animal will be presented to you in this stage. Okay. The important signs being the sternal recumbency. Okay. The sternal recumbency and tucking of head into flank. These two are the characteristic or pathognomonic sign in case of milk fever. Okay. Apart from that, you will find anorexia, dry muscle. Which dry muscle is symbolic for any disease. Okay. In animals, you will find a dry muscle. That means the animal is having some disease. Next, there will be bloat. Comment down below why there will be bloat. Okay. Next, the head will be, if the head will be accident, it will be S-shaped curve. But in field you may not find this sign much. But the two pathognomonic sign, remember the sternal recumbency and tucking of head into flank. You see, tucking of head into flank I already discussed in scoliosis also. But in this disease, this is a characteristic sign. You see, this is the image. Can you see the sternal recumbency and animal tucking her head on the flank? Okay, this in this position is actually the characteristics of milk fever. Okay. Now the stage 3, you see in stage 3, animal reaches stage 3, the recovery is guarded or the prognosis is guarded. It may recover or may not recover, or it may become a downward cow. We will discuss downward cow in next class. The first sign is lateral recumbency. Okay, the animal from sternal recumbency, the animal will go into the lateral recumbency. There will be muscle facility and the bloat will be severe. Remember, don't forget to comment why there will be bloat in case of animals in calcium deficiency. So next, you see, it may survive few hours. If the animal is having lateral recumbency, there will be many problems. There will be body weight, there will be pressure sore development, there will be infection, pus formation. Okay, so there will be many more problems. So always try to treat the milk fever in stage 1 or stage 2. Usually you will find is stage 2. In stage 2, the recovery is good. If treated properly, the recovery is, the prognosis is good. This is stage 3. You see the animal is already recumbent. Okay. This is stage 3. Can you notice the bloat? Okay. The enlargement of abdomen, especially the rumen. So how to diagnose in field condition? You see there is no laboratory facility for calcium estimation. So you will ask for history. The history is very important in field, and for this disease is very important. Okay, recent parturition, usually 72 hours. It doesn't mean it cannot happen beyond 72 hours. Sometimes it happens even if at 4th day or 5th day. Okay, so you may not find usually in 72 hours in field, but most of the time it is 72 hours, or according to book it is 72 hours. So important is actually the parturition history. Next we will go over the signs and symptoms. By these two you will diagnose the case of milk fever. Another thing, remember, the name is milk fever, but there won't be any fever. Now coming to the important part, that is how to treat, the treatment. The most important is calcium therapy. Usually you give intravenous plus oral supplementation. Alone intravenous may not be sufficient to treat the calcium deficiency or the parturiente paralysis. Usually what we usually do in field, suppose you have 100 ml to give. If it is diagnosed early, we usually give half, that is half intravenous and half subcutaneous. Okay, so that from the subcutaneous phase it will be absorbed in period of time, so that providing calcium in a long run. Next, if it is diagnosed in slightly late, then 2/3 and 1/3. 2/3 part will be given intravenous and 1/3 part is given subcutaneous. Remember, the subcutaneous injections of calcium sometimes may cause some skin problems or skin reactions. So you have to give antihistaminics before that. Next, sometimes when it is diagnosed late, okay, there will be hypomagnesia also. So you have to give calcium plus magnesium therapy. You see, the commercial preparation is usually Myfex. But remember, in Myfex it is calcium, magnesium and phosphorus. And the phosphorus in that preparation is in phosphide form, while the cells utilize usually phosphate form. So the phosphorus in Myfex is usually useless. Okay. So remember, the advantage of calcium and magnesium therapy is usually the calcium is cardiotoxic. It causes irritation to myocardium. So the magnesium usually protects against the myocardial irritation by the calcium. Also magnesium regulates the parathyroid hormone secretion, which in turn regulates the calcium metabolism. So the advantage of calcium magnesium therapy is these two. But see, you use according to calcium therapy or calcium magnesium therapy according to your convenience, okay, or your expertise. So third, you always give advice to the owner in next pregnancy or subsequent pregnancies to give calcium supplementation before and after pregnancy. This is the advice you need to give to every owner, so that there won't be any milk fever case in further parturitions. Okay. So this is all about the treatment, and this is all about the calcium deficiency or milk fever or parturiente paralysis or hypocalcemia in case of cattle and buffalo. So thank you very much. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up, and you can follow my page in Facebook in the name Dr. Sagar Sahu. Also you can follow me in Twitter @Dr. Sagar Sahu. Thank you very much. See you next time, and we will discuss the Downer cow syndrome.